Hello and welcome to our show Midwest Weekly, starring myself, Hairwez, my co-host CLT, who I'm always happy to have on the show with me, and we have another special guest returning to the show, Kalikko, the support of Scorch. Welcome to the show, Kalikko.
Hi, thanks.
Um, CLT, how are you feeling, by the way? I always ask my guy. I can't forget to ask that question. You feeling good?
Yeah, it's been a solid day. I can't complain.
That's good. That's good. Kaliko, you feeling good too? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's been a good week. Valentine's Day, all that stuff. So,
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. So yeah, so for those that don't know, when we have guests on, and we just be bringing them on to talk about the games and obviously talk about their series. Um, we don't always do it like we used to, but I'm gonna try to get more people on from time to time. We'll be attempting. And if you want to come on, feel free to reach out to me. Love to have people on. So with all that said, the last thing I will address real quick before we get into the games, I just figured I'd address it, and that's this whole conversation about flex and solo queue. I figured I'd bring it up since it's already been brought up a bunch. I cannot promise any changes this split. What I can promise you is there definitely will be some changes. We are taking consideration of how you guys voted, and we understand your guys' feelings, so we aren't ignoring them, but understand that they might not happen in the middle of a split. So uh, that's about it. Did you guys have any takes on that, or are we good to go on?
I'm
um,
indifferent.
I think it's interesting that there were a lot of people that didn't want Flex to count, and now some of those same voices want Flex to count. And I mean, you can't have it both ways. You do either it counts or it doesn't. So I don't think it's fair to count Flex games played if you're not going to count Flex rank. If you just want it to be off solo queue because that's the best individual representation of your skill as a player, then play solo queue games.
Fair, and I think that's a great point. And for those of you that haven't been around the scene for as long as someone like Calico, I know I said this I think in the Baron League chat, but this is a thing. We've had this conversation before. That's why we switched it to solo queue. So we're kind of doing circles now. Uh, at the end of the day, that's why maybe there's a different change coming. We're gonna look really deep into that and see if we can make something that's a little better structurally wise. But again, like I said, we heard you guys' voices. We're we're for the people. We're not against the people. So if you guys feel that way, then I think you guys are missing how we do things around here because this right here, the show is for you guys. The casting is for you guys. The league is for you guys. So it's a free league. We get nothing from it except
Yeah, I
now it's monetized. I guess the Twitch gets something, but really that doesn't go into our pockets either. So I wish it
yeah,
did.
I understand both sides of the argument, but at the end of the day, it has to come down on one side or the other. So,
Exactly. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into the first series. So the first series is going to be Small Brain No Mechanics versus Insane Banana Posse. Small Brain's picking up the 2-0 victory. This is coming off of Insane Banana Posse's really fun and crazy week one against Vancouver Impact Challengers, where they came back and won. They were unfortunately not able to do so in this series against Small Brains. Um, in game one, though, as you can see, uh, the big thing that probably sticks out is the Yanara and the York, I would say. I mean, really, everybody kind of sticks out, but I think they stick out the most. I mean, Yanara with 27k damage, 8-3, 11 score line, and York kind of popping off, going 13-2 and 6 into what shouldn't be that good of a matchup in the Olaf. Olaf definitely should have his way with him, but I do think it's a good pick because he was picking for more like the team. He's like, hey, I have an answer for Olaf. I can come to fights and put a wall up, and he has a hard time making things happen. So I do appreciate picking for the team there and just kind of sacking your lane a little bit. On the other side of things, we know Insane Banana Posse is randomizing their their roles. So
Yeah.
Crackler ended up going jungle this week, pulling out some Kane. We don't see a lot of that uh, in the jungle at least anymore. Flame Dog though had a really nice game, 9-4 on the Zigs, but the rest of the team kind of struggled. I think War would like to forget that AD Urgot game.
Yeah.
that is uh that is an impressive stat line. Um Urgot has been an AD in the past. I mean, I think it's probably a great pick. I just kind of wonder what happened in game.
Nothing good.
Oh, he has a family. I don't know what you did.
I into double range of all things too.
um,
Yeah.
he dies early level. Like they pretty sure they land a nice Morgana bind, which leads to just murdering him. Uh, it was unfortunate. There really wasn't much that he could do in the lane. Maybe if he's got a melee matchup on support, um, it might work.
Yeah.
Or maybe if they just run something like
Might.
Leona with it, like Leona Urgot, maybe over this just straight Urgot Nami lane. I don't know. I don't really have the answers to those questions, but I'm not gonna hate on it because the previous week New Bren, Olaf, Gwen in the bot lane and they won. So it just didn't
Yeah.
work out this time.
I think that draft and I looked at the draft to see when the Nami was picked or got his first pick. Nami picked second. Um, a melee would have made that lane so much more playable because I'm not sure what Urgot's getting out of Nami. So
Yeah, not too much. I don't think. Um, CLT, did you catch any of this series, or were you out?
I did not catch much. I went back and kind of skimmed through this game one, and yeah, this was just a hard game to watch, especially from a bot lane standard.
Yeah.
So
The big story is what happened, but we'll say that they fought back a bit, like towards the mid game. The Ziggs kind of got some shutdowns. I actually can show a clip here. Um, I think it was this one around 7 minutes. I think we stay around too much. Maybe. Maybe not. Hold on. Let me find it. There's the Ziggs gets a shutdown, and then once the Ziggs gets a shutdown, he starts to like get online. I just have to find it for you guys because I don't remember when it happened. But I made a gank bot. The gank was successful, and then we kind of just played around their food a little too much. Maybe we should have backed off a little sooner. Um, wherever my first death happens. Okay, here it is. So if you go to timestamp about 10 minutes, I'd say. Like 10, 10, 15 or so. The gank kind of gets set up. And just a bit of an interesting situation because like obviously we're fine with the initial dive. Like I think the dive is good. We pick off the Nami first, and then Urgot kind of just can't do anything. Poor guy. He's trying. But then we kind of overcommit for getting some of the turret plates. I think maybe if we just back off, reset, would have been better. Fid was sitting on low HP. Um, and we weren't really tracking the Kane at this point. So this is kind of where the Ziggs gets in the game, and he has a couple plays after this in the mid game where he gets a decent amount of kills, gets more shutdowns, and becomes kind of a Chad champion for a little bit until we could deal with him. So, and also looking back on this, the Skarner game was actually pretty like should have been pretty difficult, low key, because I have a lot of shit to deal with that can cuck me. So, and Kane's gonna
hey,
outscale me.
it looks like you were just so far ahead at this point that they didn't have a chance to pull off that game plan.
Yeah, because like Kane can go untargetable. Obviously Olaf, you can't really mess with him. So just kind of does what Olaf wants to do. But we had a lot of damage to deal with him. That's what kind of helped out with the Inara being ahead and the Rise having a pretty good game. Other than that, not much else happened. I think, like I said, mid game, there was a couple of those missteps. If I could find them, maybe Ziggs kind of gets some gold back into his pocket. Uh, it was an interesting fight. So it was like 17-minute fight, 17 and a half minutes. Um, we dropped the Rift Herald. We're gonna make a play with it. The first time Mono clicks on the Rift Herald and it's not troll. I don't know why he went all the
Mhm.
way he did though. It was interesting how he made a complete circle. Kind of put himself out of the fight by doing that. I feel like we could have got more done. But then we kind of just funnel into Zig's damage. He gets popped, shut down. I don't know what I'm thinking when I E here. Like, oh, I'm fine. No, I'm not. So he was getting pretty fed on the Ziggs, but that was about it.
I mean, he's got some great poke. It looks like I've seen a couple of really good ults from him just skimming through the game. He's
Yeah,
getting a little outscaled by Zema on the rise here a bit.
Well, should the Rise even outscale the Ziggs though?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, technically one's artillery and they're very different champions and like how their damage points hit. But yeah, I mean, Rise should outscale him.
Interesting. I wouldn't have known that. Yeah, because Rise falls under like a battle mage, right?
Technically,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, artillery mages got hit hard with the Leander nerfs coming into
They
the
did, yeah.
season, so they can't take care of things that run at them as much.
Yeah. It does seem like I mean AP champions in general are very strong, but battle mages do seem pretty good. I think control mages seem really good. But yeah, I haven't seen as many artillery mages now that you mentioned that.
I feel like Ziggs is better as an ADC right now or APC than he is in mid lane. Um, but I mean, he's still playable. He just loses a lot of his value with some of the item changers.
Yeah. I'm
And
I,
he has,
I was gonna say I feel like most champs are still playable though, right?
yeah, so I feel like of all the role quests too, mid kind of gets shafted. I mean, they get tempo with their boots, but he Ziggs benefits from all the extra stuff that you get for having the bot lane role quest, the ADC role quest.
Yeah, being able to build that sixth item is probably pretty OP actually on someone
Yeah.
like
I think
him.
it's just the extra gold he gets from minions because he can farm safely and
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't
Yep.
really miss too much CS when you're 2Qing the wave or throwing an E out there. So
Fair enough.
yeah,
I
That makes
mean,
sense.
if you would have switched the Ziggs to bot lane with the Nami, like it Ziggs loves Nami.
yeah,
All mages love Nami as their support, so you probably would have gotten a lot more value out of the pick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how Urgot matches into Rise, but I feel like that's a much more even matchup than what he faced in bot lane. So
Yeah, unfortunately, I think War has always taken that Urgot bot, but maybe he's willing to play the Ziggs. I don't know if he can. I have no idea. Um, but if it's something that he can play, yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad idea. So
yeah,
they had an idea where they wanted to go with the Urgot here, and like they said, they're kind of randomizing, having a little bit of fun. They're obviously trying to win still, but they're just kind of seeing what they can make of it. And in some cases, I think you can throw teams off with just being like, "Hey, this guy's going here, this guy's going here," and you're like, "That guy doesn't play these roles," you know. Um, but it did not pay off this time. That's for sure.
yeah, that's a hard lane I think to play that comp into too. So
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show the end of the game here, and then we can start talking about game two. Unless you guys have any other thoughts that kind of come to mind looking at the game.
no, there's not much to talk about.
Yeah. If you guys
no.
if you guys want to go watch the end of the game though, I got trolled by Zema, so you guys can do that.
Oh, we can definitely watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
28 minutes. Yeah, go ahead and go to 28 minutes.
that's exactly where I'm at.
What a piece of crap, man. This guy.
Nah, a good one, Zenma.
Oh, jeez, don't give him credit, man. It's horrible.
I am.
All right. So game two. Game two was definitely interesting. Um, I would like to point out, even though we were in ahead in kills in these games, like if you look at the first like 20 minutes, we only had like 1 or 2K gold leads, so they were still doing well on the map to keep themselves like they were farming obviously efficiently well enough. They were still getting plates, so they were still doing stuff. It's not like they were just completely getting rolled because they were doing these funny drafts, right? Um,
hmm
so if you change something up here and there, maybe the games are truly different. Here in game two, though, the one thing that kind of I expected to come because I saw Crackler was playing it was the Karthus. So I actually early drafted Lee Sin, which is something I almost never do personally, unless I really just like am maybe tilted. So I guess now you guys know if I'm tilted, I might just be one Lee Sin. But I certainly wasn't tilted here. I like Lee Sin and the Karthus. Like yeah, he outscales me, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not playing for the scaling game against a pick like that. So yeah, I saw it on his play log. I'm like, all right, let's try to play around that. And then I know War had a lot of fun. We were talking after the series with playing this Nautilus 80 carry. He actually did a decent amount of damage for like that when like they would like fight, I was impressed. Like he was actually doing like some work, but they were never gonna be able to truly pop off with that unless they got super far ahead. I mean, there's always a chance because it is Sivir Yumi. If you CC lock the Sivir, like she can certainly die, but it never went that direction. Um, but yeah, Zem on the Silas had an absolutely correct game, by the way. 18, 3, and 13. Like, just disgusting. Though he did not like that set matchup. It was not very fun for him.
Oh yeah, I imagine that's not very much fun to play into.
No, Flame Dog was, I'd say, I definitely would argue he was winning early. Like, he was playing the matchup well. Um, it was not easy for Zeman to play. Early on, I'm able to get off an invade here on the Crackler, and I think I kind of set the tone of the game, and that's why I picked it. I know whoever was casting, I forget who casted our series. I can't remember. I should remember. Oh, it was Arpies, right? Arpies casted.
Yeah, our price
Um,
cast.
he mentioned on the stream after I watched it back about like this is why you take exhaust on Karthus jungle, and that would have helped a little bit. Like I think Karthus lives there. I'll say that. I don't know if he gets to get his red buff, but he can walk away. Um, that maybe he doesn't create as much distance with the flash, but I don't think I kill him because I have to play respectful around the exhaust at that point.
I feel like on Karthus jungle you either take exhaust or ghost. You hardly ever take flash, but
Yeah, but I mean he's off rolling hard here, so I don't know if he knows much
Mhm.
about jungle.
I'm shocked at how much damage War Initiate is putting out with Aoproa.
I
I
know.
just watched him kill Sever, Yumi, and bot lane.
Yeah, go to the 3 minute clip. The 3 minute clip has to be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. By the way, tell me how this makes any sense when you see what happens and transpires. I was so flabbergasted when I looked over and I see this guy recalling and surviving. I'm like, what? What? How? You should be dead, bro. And the small plays like that, I imagine if they kill like Silver there, like I think the game becomes interesting. You know, a gold probably goes over to Karthus. I would hope, right? So he gets some gold back. Um, but even Nautilus getting ahead early could be like scary. I think.
I mean, Nautilus is much tankier than he has like any right to be um with that item. Like with Roa. I don't know. I feel like if they had gone a damage like AP support, something like a I don't know, like a Zyra, a Nico, a heck a Lissandra, I think that matchup would have gone a lot better in bot lane. Because Nautilus can keep them locked down while the support damage dealer just kicks their butt. Um, Yumi's kind of, I mean, she's valuable, but she's pretty weak early game. So, and with
Yeah,
only one target to CC lock, like, I'm shocked when I looked at the draft and I saw Yumi. I have not been playing her in at all because I don't think she's in a great state right now,
yeah.
especially not with Sticker,
I
like Tristana maybe.
I look back and I don't know if I love it, but it's honestly like I don't think the Yumi's bad. Like I'm kind of getting on the Enchanter bandwagon a little bit more and more each week. I definitely think there's better enchanters right now than
There
a Yumi, but I don't think Yumi's like bad actually. I think I'd put her somewhere around B tier, you know, like which is actually not bad for support picks. I'd say because more support picks are more playable than I think people realize. Um,
I
but I
mean, it won, so obviously it worked.
yeah, it did win, but a lot of things can win and not be useful here, Calico. All right, like
It's true, it's true.
yeah, but I
Yep.
don't think that's what happened here. The Yumi was definitely useful. I do like Yumi pairing with stuff like if I'm playing Lisa, and I actually like that. Doesn't feel too bad. Get on my back and we just run around the map together. That's pretty fun. Didn't really happen, but if it does, like I'm cool with that.
Oh, it's because of you and me. It makes you lose so much by jumping on someone that isn't your best friend. So,
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it does have to happen sometimes though, right? Like the Yumi can't only
oh
perma
yeah, yeah.
sit on that. And there's actually a play. As we're kind of, I'm sure you guys are scrolling through. There's a play where we died. We almost pretty much all died at Drake, and it's because like Yumi wasn't on anybody.
Oh, What timestamp are you at?
Let me see if I can find
Oh,
it.
I think I found it. Yeah, you and me, we got this.
I think it's after the bot turret was already gone, right?
Let's see. I'm seeing a play around, or is it the play around 16? What is this, the third right?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yep,
exactly it.
that's it.
Yeah, and this was kind of like this is where they
Oh,
were fighting back too. Like we only had about a 3K gold lead.
oh no, poor kitty.
Yeah, and it was actually a beautiful solar flare from Threshold A2 to kind of keep me dealt with there for a second.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it was a good play,
I was
for sure.
trying to play out of the vision. Didn't know they dropped another ward though. Thought we could still fight because we were still relatively strong, and they exhausted a lot. And Noob was still top lane, but I was completely wrong because I just got CC chained. We did like get some kills, but we ended up losing it overall. So
I mean, yeah, that was a beautiful TP by Noob there. Um,
yeah,
definitely evening out the goal difference here too.
yeah. So this was like a point in the game where you're like, okay, if you're in team and Ampos, you gotta be feeling good. You gotta be feeling like you could fight. I think the only big problem here was the overstep by Flame Dog. And I feel like he should be able to win this, but the fact that he doesn't, it's very impactful in the game
Yeah, I agree.
because like he could just clear the
Oh,
wave,
so close, so close.
but he went for the play, and the shield wasn't even used correctly there. That's the funny part.
Is
Um,
that a bandle pipes on Yumi? What is that?
win, wait, win. Let me scroll through a little more. No, I'm seeing a Moonstone
Oh
and
no, no, okay,
Michaela's.
okay, okay. It's Michaelis, it's
No,
Michaelis.
Bandle Pipe is on Leona, which actually, why is
Yeah.
the Bandle Pipes on Leona in this game? I didn't even notice that. For who?
Yeah, that's a good
Um,
question.
It's just for Set and Jinzao, but
so
like, how often are you around
Bandle
them?
pipes on Leona is good, but when your ADC is Nautilus, there's probably a better item there. What would I have built? I probably would have built a Knight's Vow or a Locket. Lots of good options. But yeah, I mean, pipes is good on Leo, but yeah, not here.
Go look at that 19-minute and 20-second set kill, by the way. I don't even remember watching that. That was disgusting. God, true damage set is fucking insane. Part of my language to the people that watch the show. Jeez Louise, bro. That was just not even right.
Oh, it's a good bomba.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I think after that Drake fight, we cleaned it up. We actually went for a bit of a kind of a Baron bait after we killed the set, and then it turned into us actually just taking the Baron. New made a nice little play, and this is 22 minutes if you're wondering where I'm at. New made a nice little play, kind of pick up a kill onto Sivir, but we got Baron. At this point, like we just were able to run the map, and like I said, they still fought back. I mean, it was a pretty crazy game. There's a lot of melee champions, so you're expecting there to be a bit of a brawling going on.
Yeah, this is where the gold lead really starts to grow.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, and that's the funny thing. I think IBP is actually a really good roster. I think if they're playing their roles and stuff, like these games are closer for sure, no matter what. Um, like that's certainly a difference maker that matters.
I'm I'm impressed by this Nautilus ADC. Like I said, I think a different support would have made it more successful, but whew, man.
I'm trying to just show the exact end of the game. Maybe
Uh,
it just starts here. I also die under the fountain again, by the way, at the end of the game. So I guess that was just my weekly for fun thing or something. I don't know what's going on there. It was actually a nice flash by Crackler. He put me under the Nexus. So with all that said, that was the series. Thank you, War and the boys, for playing. It was actually really fun. Um, CLT, any thoughts before I jump into the next one?
Um, no, you guys covered a lot of it. This was a typical insane banana type of series.
Yes,
They either win
typical.
by the sword or die by the sword. In this case, they're line up in drafts.
Yep, pretty much. So we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next one, which is going to be the NTR versus Hidden Leaf series. This was the only one that I don't think I had anything on. I didn't watch, or maybe I did watch a little bit of it. Um, Hidden Leaf getting a series win this week, which I'm sure is definitely nice after a hard fought series the previous week, which could have went either way. I know we talked about it on stream. It was against Mythos, if I remember correctly. It was Incarnate. It was Incarnate or Mythos, but make sure I'm on game one, right? The Wukong's in game one. Okay. So yeah, the game one here, Gojo and Arthidius kind of popping off. 13-1-3 on this Aatrox and 10-3-7 on this Lux. They actually had their sixth man come in for this series as well, which was Ryomen Sukuna. He doesn't play jungle, so he went jungle, and Akaza ended up going 80 carry. I think Akaza played well, but he had, I think, a relatively quiet little game there on the Lucian. Did his job. Classic Lucian Nami game. On NTR side, I thought Stanley played pretty well here. 6-3-2 on the Caitlyn, but just wasn't able to really take over the game. Like he needed his top side of the map to just be tankier and to withstand some of this damage coming out of the Aatrox and Wukong to set up for objectives. But that did not happen. It was pretty sloppy after the early game, I would say. So did anybody catch the series at all?
I got to watch part of it. Actually, while they were in the middle of playing it, we were in practice, so we caught part of it while we were waiting for one of our members. I like both their team comps. I think they're good answers into each other, and so I don't think like either of them like draft diffed the other. It's just unfortunate that looks like top lane got kind of squished.
Yeah, he kind of got the treatment, unfortunately. Um, I know that Aatrox is historically pretty good into the Horn pick, which I
It is,
definitely
yeah.
do get. But I will say if you want to win, I think the most important thing is just knowing when like it's fine to just accept that you're not gonna be able to do much in the lane, right? If the Aatrox is 50% less strong than he is, I think the game's like playable because Caitlyn was getting gold, and I thought
Yeah, yeah.
Dionysus on the Galio was playing pretty well, and I actually do think Penguin Jack was actually making nice little ganks here and there, setting up some nice plays. So just did not go in their favor. Also, Lux damage is ridiculous. Every week that I see this
Little bit.
champion, it's
Yep.
like, what the hell? What's going on, bro? And she'd fall under artillery mage, no? Or is she more of a control mage?
She's more of a control mage.
I actually kind of see her more as a burst mage that has some
Yeah,
artillery
yes.
properties.
Okay, and that's fair.
Like-
I think she technically is a burst mage, so
Okay.
she's like Syndra, in that category. So Syndra, Veigar.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just think she does a little less damage than them, but she's just much safer because of the range.
Yeah.
oh, she is. She's baby's first mid laner. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now that you mention it, I guess you guys are right. It's just really a burst mage. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of like, she definitely plays like artillery heavy too with her long range, but she really just looks for picks off the long range.
She loses the true artillery though. That's how
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's like a good Ziggs or Xerath or Vel'Koz, she's just like she has a hard time with it. I can almost relate to her being almost like a Zoe, where it's like she does have range, but it's only in like certain scenarios and certain pockets of team comps.
It's only every 23 seconds at level 16.
Yeah, she's definitely the Orianna of burst mages, where if you play her well, it's impossible to move this freaking champion out of lane.
Yeah, no, so she's a burst mage. I mean, she has some control aspects. She has her long range ult, but I just think she's in a really good spot right now. I mean, we've played her both weeks, and in Scorch as well, to varying degrees of success, but she's in a good place right now. And I honestly like that matchup into the Galio. I don't think Galio has a very good time into it.
Yeah. Go to 4 minutes. Go to 4 minutes and look at that flash from Arthidius. I'm sorry. I did not. I remember watching some of this game now, and I don't remember seeing that flash at all. Oh, I can't help it when funny stuff like that happens. I'm sorry, guys, if you're new around here. I'm not really trying to put anybody in blast because I do it to myself, like how I died to the fountain. But it's just
Oh,
comical.
yep,
It's comical,
yep.
man. I can't help it. If there was a blooper,
Oh,
if we had top five bloopers every week, like we once had top five plays, that'd be a top five blooper. Like just
that's a tragic flash.
Well,
yeah.
thank God we don't, because I'd have a few of those on there.
Nah,
Yep,
CNT,
same.
you're goaded. What do you mean? But yeah, I agree about all the takes you have there, Calco. I do think the draft wise, like the draft definitely doesn't feel like that's the problem. It just comes down to gameplay, and I think NCR is definitely trying to ramp up and figure things out. And um, as the season progresses, there's always opportunities to improve and get better and to figure it out. But right now, obviously, they have a lot of work to do. Um,
Well, and
Go ahead.
Hidden Leaf has been playing together for a long time, and they play a lot.
Yes.
So if you're a new team, you're playing into a very established team that there's been some change-ups with the roster, but I mean these guys play together and have for a long time. So
Yeah, I think any roster you're playing against like that is going to be difficult, and I think a lot of the teams in the league now are like that. We don't have a lot of like just thrown together teams. I mean, even Femboys, if you look at that roster, basically the whole roster is the same roster from the first split they were in the league, just plus
mhm.
Rika, I think. So
Yeah.
when you look at that, like there's really not too many teams that are just completely brand new in terms of their structure. We obviously talked about the stunned gaming teams as well. They've both been together so for some time, I'm sure. Uh, so yeah, it's pretty difficult, man. If you're just getting together, and I don't know if these guys play together outside of this. I think from what I've talked from Stanley, they are a group of friends. So
I just want to know if those initials are intentional or not.
um,
We were speculating on that
I think
in my in chat.
when they made it, they didn't realize. That's what I think is what I've heard.
Okay.
So and
Okay,
and,
so we were wrong then. We
yeah.
Good cover.
100% thought it was intentional.
Yeah, I think at this point they're just gonna stay committed, not change the name, and I think that's fine. So I didn't even know
Oh,
there was anything wrong with it
that looked
until someone kind of said something, and I'm like, "What does it mean? Like, what is he? What are you guys implying?" Like, I had no
oh,
idea.
you
So
don't watch enough anime then, I guess.
I watched a good chunk of anime, but it still didn't stick out to me. So it must be an anime I don't watch or something. I don't know, or it's something else that I missed all these years, and I'm because I'm slow.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
We won't talk about it on stream, but
Yeah, I'll tell you off stream.
yeah. No, I'm aware of what it is now. I'm just saying, like we won't talk about it. But I just missed it. I don't know. I just who knows. I'm just some guy,
I have no
Um,
clue what you guys are talking about.
yeah, this guy. Tell him you could tell him after stream.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
I'll explain it to you afterwards.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. With that said, though, like I said, NTR was fighting back pretty good. For a bit. I think the gold lead was like stabilized around like 3-4K for a while. Um, don't remember where
Yeah,
the game broke though.
it feels like it's really this top lane where it opened up. So
Yeah, I do. I'd like to think if top laner was like not struggling so much that actually NTR has a chance at truly playing the game because this Caitlyn damage was getting online and with trap setups like it's certainly not going to be easy to just walk into them.
y- yeah, clicking through it just feels like his spacing was a little too far up in the lane for the Aatrox. He wasn't respecting the amount of damage the Aatrox can put out early.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It definitely
What
does.
happened in our game today? So
Yeah, there you go. But they definitely had some opportunity. They had some opportunities, and like I said, they kept the gold somewhat close, um, when it mattered. But eventually, they get a Baron. Like 22 minutes, they're kind of just doing Baron for free while they're trying to kill the Aatrox, and Aatrox like, haha, you can't kill me. I'm too fast. Maybe they don't get the Baron, but they set up. Maybe they kill the jungler first. I actually don't remember. But they do something here, and it's not good for the video game after trying to kill Aatrox. Um, so yeah, with that said, I think I'll show the end of this one, and we can jump into.
oh, there's a beautiful fight down here about 13 minutes where NTR looks like they've got it, and then Gojo shows up.
I'll show it real quick before I show the end. Let's see, 13 minutes.
Oh no, Gojo!
Gojo, you're unfair, buddy. Go away.
That's why they locked you in the box in the anime.
Yeah, it was actually a really, really nice play there to Penguin Jack, I thought, too. The way he flashed in. And
Oh
then,
yeah, no, that was a great attempt. It's unfortunate that the raid boss showed up.
yeah, if he's not there, it's playable. Did he walk down, too? Did he just walk? He just literally walked, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, his TP is still up.
He's slow walking. He's like, I'm gonna get there, guys. Just you guys just go ahead and die, and I'll clean up the fight. All right, let me show the end of this game, and then we can get out on to the next one, shall we? But yeah, they just kind of get dove after that, man. Like, and I gotta say this Wukong was kind of cracked too on some of the engages. His scoreline doesn't say it, but he actually made some nice plays. I just wanted to point that out. I gotta give some love to the 6 man out here.
Yeah, I mean, Wu's in a great spot right now too, I think.
Yeah, I don't think the meta has shifted too much. What am I doing? I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. I don't think the meta has shifted too much from last split. So, but yeah, game two here. The Camille, which we haven't seen any Camille in a while. 10-0-5 here for Gojo. I'm definitely curious what your guys' thoughts on the champion are. I mean, obviously it popped off here, but I'll save that for after we kind of break down what happened here. Stanley tried to go for a carry the boys comp right there with going to Samira. I just don't know why it was paired with Brand. That one is mind boggling to me. I'm not really sure what the play on that one was. And then Ari and the Yunara here both going pretty impressive score lines. Also, all shout out to the support here, where Toji on the Rel kind of went 217, kind of did his job too pretty well. Um, but yeah,
I
so
think they're.
what do we think of Camille? Well, you can say what you're gonna say first, and then you can go.
Oh, I think they picked the brand because they're just missing a lot of AP damage. It looks like because Maokai's a tank at the end of the day. So it looks like it was picked near the end, if I'm seeing that correctly.
Yes, it was B4.
I just I don't think Maokai's in a good spot for any role except support right now. And Camille is you can't like blind pick it. It's good situationally, but I think it's really good into the Maokai. So um that's another losing matchup that this individual is putting himself into. So
Yeah, it's definitely pretty rough, and I understand when people try to pick for the team, and I respect that. Um, but you have to understand that you are losing the matchup though, and then how to lose it gracefully. I think that's the most important thing.
well, I think you could have put it bot lane and it would I don't know if that player plays Maokai, but it would have been great with a Samira and then you pick something else top lane.
Yeah, and it's actually not that bad in Terrell either. You can kind of
No,
get
not at
her,
all.
kind of cancel a couple of her abilities with your Q if you time it correctly. So, um, yeah, I agree with you. There's some small draft changes there would have helped out. I otherwise I like most of the rest of the draft. I don't even hate the Neferi mid. I think it has potential. Um, but you can't do that if you are gonna go Baran. Like if you're forcing AP into like your support with a Samira. That's really what the problem lies. If you're gonna go Neferi mid, then you have to draft AP top and then
Mm-hmm.
just run that tank down there in the bot lane to set up the Samira. Because really, Samira is not a champion that can play with everything.
No, I mean she wants to CC, she can play without it, but honestly, you put that Maokai bot, you pick something else top because I'm looking. Bren was their last pick. Now you still would have been blinding into the Camille, but Camille can't play into a lot of stuff. But as soon as she sees that Maokai, like that is free for her. So
Yeah, yeah, unfortunate. Um, is there any takes you have on the mid lane there, CLT?
Um, I mean, I think Ari is your generic safe, like blindable mid. Nefiri is an interesting one. I don't see it often, but when I do see it, if you know how to play it and navigate, especially like versus range matchups, you can do a lot of like pretty disgusting things on the champion because she has damage equal to like a Renekton or even like an Akali early, and the
Hmm.
fact that she can proc electrocute with just the Q is low key kind of disgusting. So if you can get this Neferi off the ground, especially in 2v2 duels, and she gets rolling, comes back with like a brutalizer or Dirk at level 6 with the ignite, then she can just completely all in and then W the drop turret aggro, and it's akin to like an AD version of Fizz. It's just if you
Oh,
can pilot it, it can be disgusting. Into
I
this
have
matchup, I could see Ari just kind of stalling it out. She's not too worried about it.
I have never thought of Neferi as an AD Fizz. That is an interesting take. I don't think I disagree with it though, but I've never thought about it that way.
Hmm. Yeah, it's she can bully around like Roa users, your Rise, your
Oh, yes.
Niveas,
Hmm.
your Ace will absolutely wants to run from that matchup
Yeah.
just because of the W, and it's the same ideology behind Fizz. But eventually she can fall off. You don't really feel it either. It's not as aggressive as a fall off as like a Talon who's even or a Zed who's even or a little behind. So
Yeah,
it's
she feels
if you
like a. Go ahead, sorry.
no, you're good.
She feels like a very solo queue pick to me. Um,
She's
but
very good in other melee picks. Like she's very good into other Akalis, other Talons, just because of the Q poke. She has access to range trading that some of those other assassins don't. But she can also be her simplicity can be her downfall too.
yeah, I mean she was supposed to be like the intro assassin, um,
Hmm.
mid laner.
Yeah, once they nerf the Bruiser build though, she's strictly kind of assassin. The Bruiser build can fall off quite a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Um, yeah, I don't know if you guys are scrolling through the game. I mean, there was definitely some small little moments where I thought NTR did play some things really well. I thought the like 3 4 minute play where the J4 gets a flag kill onto the Inara is pretty hilarious. And then also Stanny with a really nice wind wall there to block the flash engage there from Akaza. Well, not engage, but flash, Q to get the kill onto him was pretty clean. Um,
They have some good
so
poke too, especially early.
yeah. I think what needs to happen if you're playing this comp though, like straight up, I think J4 just has to camp bot because you want your Samira to be able to play the game and she can play off your EQ knockup and then just get her as fed as possible and then pray. It's my thing.
You're not winning top lane, so
Yeah,
you
exactly. That's why I say that. Maybe there's some setup mid you can
yeah.
try to pull off, but I do think that's still even also hard. Um, so that's kind of what I was kind of thinking when I saw the draft. Like, okay, if he can camp this lane, then maybe there's a chance. But that's where drafting is so important. And I know a lot of people like to play different things, but we've gotten to a point now where I've noticed a lot of like the league is playing a lot of meta stuff. Like we're not really playing too much like, oh, here's a random for fun pick here. Here's like a lot of people are playing the meta picks. When you play the meta picks, they give you a higher chance to win. It's just the reality at the competitive level. Um, so if you want to play those different unique picks, I think it has to be because it's like a counter. It's like, what does Defiri counter Ari? If that's a yes, then like go for it. You know. Um, so that's kind of my vibe. But with that said, I think we're good to move on from the series. Did you guys have any other takes about the games?
No, I don't think so. I think that they had a losing match up top, and it looks like Gojo kind of carried this game again.
Yeah,
So I think a draft if for the top lane and support.
yeah, and it was one of the fastest games we've had here in the league ever too. It was very quick. We don't get a lot of sub like 25-minute games. I don't know if we've ever had any sub 20s. CLT, do you remember if we ever had any sub 20-minute games?
Um,
I feel
if
like
we have, it ain't been any of them. I want to say there might be one out there.
yeah, maybe in Rec League, well, aka now Herald League. I still call it that sometimes, but
Yeah, I can confirm there's a couple in the Herald League.
yeah, but none in Baron. So Gets weird
Nothing
sometimes calling
much.
this Baron League and Herald League. I'm just still not used to it.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, we can jump into the next series. Let's see. One, two. Well, this is going to be the VIP versus Incarnate series. So this one, I want to say I watched it. Yes, I did. I watched it back because we play both these teams actually back to back, so it's actually an important watch. So I did watch it, and I do remember it being a very close game one, like extremely close. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Where is the? That's week one. We don't want week one. We want week two. Boom. There we go. All right. I have the game ones correctly. I always mess this up now with the new setup. Jinzao was picked. Okay, there we go. All right, so here in the first game, Spirit Tracks. This guy's a really good Caitlyn. He's another one, kind of like Angel Boy. Um, I've already noticed over the first 2 weeks, like this guy with this pick certainly pops off. They did have their 6 man in here subbing in, which was Zebra. You're playing on the J4. Thought he had a pretty nice game as well. But it was really, really close. Like if you look at the scores, you can obviously tell that everybody was kind of like having moments. While some people were kind of running it down a little bit for both teams at times. Smudge popped off on the Oriana, 13, 8, and 11. Yeah, 8 deaths, but like if you watch the game, like a lot of those deaths come later on in the game when it becomes harder to play for Vancouver. But they had moments to win. And it was so close. And then this also started the trend of me realizing maybe Karma just is kind of strong. So,
Cool. She is a very good early game aggressive pick. If you want to get Prio in lane, you want to get early dragons, she's a great pick. There's not a lot that's like great into her.
yeah, is the Sona matchup good?
The Soda matchup's not bad, but you have to. It depends upon what it's paired with. It's so in that case, it's more about the ADCs versus the supports.
Okay. So we're looking at Caitlyn versus Sivir. Caitlyn outranges. Sivir has the push. What's that matchup look like?
It's favored for the Caitlyn Karma, I would say.
That's what I figured too. I was just checking.
Now, not like in Sona will outscale the Karma, and have a lot more value, but if you're not enchanting people that are strong, then it won't matter. As you saw in our game today, or my game today.
Oh, a little bit of a spoiler alert over here.
Oh no.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We did see this matchup already, though. Not this exact matchup, but we saw the Karma versus
It
Sivir
was, it
matchup.
was it was similar. And I mean, Sona is very strong right now, but you have to scale up. You have to finish your little mini game that you have on Sona with your stacks. And then the 2 item spike is really hard.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm convinced. I'm convinced that enchanters are strong right now. I've actually come to this conclusion. I think both, for the first time ever, enchanters and melee supports are both good. I don't actually think.
I'm so excited about it too.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
either of them are bad. In fact, you know what supports I think are bad? And this is gonna be funny. I think if you're playing,
Pike.
well, yeah, Pike might be bad, but no, like mage supports I think aren't that good right now. To be honest, like pulling out Vel'Koz's bot, I don't think that's that great. But like,
I would agree. It's
yeah,
because ADCs are so strong with the ADC quest. And they just have such a great potential to carry. And you need gold on
yeah.
mage supports. So
So that's probably my only thing that I think is not that good. I don't know if there's really any other class of support we're missing here because really it's pretty much enchanters and tanks. But you know, maybe there's one I'm not thinking of.
I mean that's your trifecta. And you have like shades of tank. Like you've got hookers for your tank supports. You've got engage. But I mean they still fall along those lines.
Yeah. I think those are dichotomies more so, but I think range
Oh, I
support's
think it's a
for the best.
triangle. I think it's a la your classic JRPG.
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly.
John Ken Poe.
What I,
Yeah.
what I will say about the start of this game though, Peekaboo is playing really well here early on the Jinzhou. Able to find some like really nice plays. Gets the flash out of like Lysander early mid, which leads to some kills later on. the bot lane wasn't playing bad, but like Smudge getting the advantage he had a lot to do with the Jinzao moving. The problem that was happening as this game like progressed, like the major issue was like Jinzao kept going a little too forward and would get punished, and he's like your primary like engage slash disengage tool, I think. Yeah, you have Sona R, you can use Crescendo as that as well, but I think he's the primary on those. Um, and so if he dies, like fights were just gonna they seem to go so rough from that point on. There's just so much you can do. You can't really 4v5 for free at that point. But they did do a good job early game. I thought Jacob once again played well, because everybody wants us to be the Jacob fan club, so we'll just be that fan
No,
club.
just me.
Yeah, just you. Uh,
Oh, you're not Team Edward, you're Team Jacob. Maybe that joke is
I
too old. Sorry.
yes, we are totally Team Jacob. That's my name too, so I'm committed.
jeez.
Uh,
Bring back that reference.
I like the Mbessa pick into this largely front to back comp, because it gets right on the back line,
Yeah, I'm
and pops your squishies.
I'm wondering, Calico, if we should just continue to pick Renekton into it, because like the thing is, it outscales whatever, fine, but like I don't know, man. Or not, no, I'm saying the best outscales. So like Renekton wins early, but like what does it really matter? I feel like you need something else to like play around that. I don't know. I'm not loving it anymore. Like it's not like it was when it first came out. Like,
Yeah, I just feel like Mbessa's like, okay, you win, but how does this work when your ADC and your support are dead? And now there's more of us than you.
yeah, that's basically my
So,
thoughts too. Yeah, exactly. So I wonder if there's something else that can be more useful. Maybe something that can play more front to backy with your Persona here. Like I don't know, maybe just play Poppy. Like that's technically a counter as well, and you can sit on top of your carries instead of being away from your carries. Because Reactor wants to go to the back line, play front line. In fact, in this game, now that I bring this up, I know for a fact there's a fight exactly like that. And Bessa dives the back line, Renekton dives the back line, and it's a 4v1 on
oh,
two sides of the
but
map.
Mbessa's so much better at diving the back line than Renekton is.
Yeah,
So,
I want to try to find the clip now. It had me laughing while watching it. I'm like, what is happening here?
and I mean, Karma is a little bit better equipped to be engaged on than Sona is, with her shields, especially at mid game where they're going to be maxed out.
Yeah,
Karma is not the best enchanter. She is not the best at anything, but she is very adequate at doing everything.
she is the jack of all trades, right?
She is.
That's her
Oh,
her role.
beautiful Emperor's Divide by Lysander here, where I'm watching.
I wish I knew where you were.
I'm at like 6 minutes. He just absolutely walks out.
Oh, you're talking about the one mid? Yeah, I think I showed that actually. I showed that clip. That was
Yep,
really nice from
he
him.
he sacrifices his jungler for his mistakes, but he walks out.
Yeah, that's important. He walks out. Everybody else can just die. He did get a couple moments in this game too to kind of shine, but for the most part, like I think he was kept in check on this Azir. I definitely think he can play it decently well, but definitely, and I mean this from a place of a lot of respect because I have a very great Azir player. Um, there's definitely some moments where he is trying to make the plays and it's not really working out. So it doesn't seem like he's as comfortable on the pick as some other champions, but he definitely is plays it well enough to win, like without question. And I do think Azir is strong. Like it's gonna scale in any game you play it in because it's Azir and he loves to get 3 items and become a menace. So
Oh, Azir's strong. He's got great zone control. He's got great just ability to move around the map, but he is very hands checky champion. So if your hands are not as good as your opponents, then you're gonna die.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's a good way of saying it. Um, I'm trying to find that clip though. I want to find that clip because it's so funny. It had me laughing when it happened. I don't know when it happened though. That's the problem. It was at a Drake specifically. So if anybody finds it while scrolling through, please let me know.
I also think like Azir into Ori is something you see in pro play fairly often, but I mean the Ori is a lot easier to pull off. So
That's dictated kind of similar to bot lane matchups on what the jungler is.
Mhm.
Like if Ori is free to go more of a burst magey type of build, then yeah, she can definitely bully Azir a lot harder, a lot earlier. But if Azir is used as like follow up engage or as like peel, then his wall has a lot of value. But Smudge has shown that he's like, don't give this dude Oriana. He is average
Oh,
double digit kills every game he's played it. I think it's 3 times. No, twice. Um, this
oh.
split. So
There are fewer mages I hate seeing picked in mid lane than Oriana because you have to watch your positioning like a hawk. It's
uh,
just it changes the way you have to position in all your fights, in your sieging. Yeah, it's so annoying.
I think I found the clip, by the way.
All
Maybe.
right, where are we at?
No, it's not. This is not the clip. This is not the clip. But it is a
Oh,
Drake fight.
womp
At 20
womp.
and
you
20 and a half minutes,
bamboozled
there's a
me.
Drake fight. I mean, it's an important Drake fight, so you can still watch it. Um, because you can see the gold lead is so close, man. Like, actually, at this point, like, this looked like coming up to this Drake. I thought that there was a chance from watching the game back that like, okay, VIP could probably turn around and win this game. Um, after some after they like kind of gave gold back. They were kind of going back and forth. I was like, all right, now they're back in a winning position. They're not too bad, and then they just have one of those fights that just doesn't go well. The Croc though absolutely goes off with that triple kill though, even though they lost Drake. It's like extended. It's extended play. So maybe it's the next Drake. I will search until I find it. I swear, because that was like the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it also makes sense because both top laners are trying to create space.
I mean, and both champions are good at doing that. So,
Yeah, 100%. Maybe this is it. The straight coming up. 26 and a half minutes. They're setting up for something. Maybe. But yeah, I do think this game was decided a lot of on Drake because every fight like was so close. Um, and whoever got the win on the Drakes felt like they were
oh,
gonna
beautiful.
win the game there.
Crescendo by the Sona.
Yeah, it sucks that there was no like
Follow up.
meaningful follow up there.
Yeah.
So
This 27-minute fight where you
Uh,
were looking for the top laners,
yeah,
you know,
mhm.
yeah, this is this season in a nutshell. By the way, what I'm watching.
OP top laner is going against OP top laner.
Yeah, that's
They're just like, how about our top laner versus your whole team, and your top laner versus our whole team? Who wins?
Yeah, and it was a really
you know who
close.
wins the top laners.
It was
I
really close
know.
fight,
Yeah.
man. It was such a close fight. Like Vancouver nearly kills four of
Oh,
them
that's
there. I think
unfortunate.
Spirit Tracks always lives. It gets the last
Yeah.
kill on Sivir, but it was like the most insane fight. Um, and it really has all to do with the fact that top winners had stalled it out. I think if Sona doesn't get popped early, maybe even holds crescendo because there's no follow up there, that maybe the fight goes a little differently. But because
Well,
being able to kill Mbessa and not getting just blown up by Mbessa could be a big difference because now the Sona's there for the rest of the fight.
I mean, you got maxed out shields on Karma too. That's quite a bit that she's shielding, and then she's got a moonstone on top of it. So it just it is shocking, like how much damage it negates.
Yeah, no, 100%. Um,
Got your mantra shielding. Oof.
yeah. But yeah, so this game, when does it even end? I don't even remember. I think this is a really long game, too. I think it's like 41 minutes, right? Yeah, it's a 41-minute game. This game goes for a while. I don't remember exactly how it ends. Just remember being so close and being really impressed with both teams. Like Vancouver might be trending in the same direction as like Ninja Turtles from a couple splits ago. And honestly, maybe they're doing the same thing this split. Go Coalition is their new name, where they're just really solid teams, but they're just not getting wins. They're not getting series wins. Like they're in every single game pretty much, but they just falter when it matters most. So it might continue a trend, it might not, but they don't feel this Vancouver team does not feel like an 0-2 team to me.
I feel like there's been a little bit of power creep too in the league over the splits. So that might have something to do with it as well.
Yeah, certainly.
We're
Um,
Magic the Gathering here over here.
yeah, true, true. We have another
They're
fight
our great.
here at like 33 minutes or so, for the soul. I don't remember who ends up getting this, but I think it is going to be. Um, well, that's such a nice shockwave. I get enamored kind of rewatching things sometimes. But yeah, I think it is Incarnate that ends up picking it up here, and I think that's the biggest difference in this game. It was actually a really nice Azir shovel too by Lysander.
I'm sure all those Hex Dragons make a huge difference as well.
Oh, Hex dragons are so strong.
Mm.
Like when you're
Yep.
when you're playing into a soul like this too with the slow, and you're playing into stuff like Caitlyn Azir, they can just like free get the slow onto you, because of their range. It's just gross. It's like how
So
do you step up and play now as the crocodile and stuff? So
it's a lot of space you gotta cover to
yeah,
gap close on them.
exactly. And I think this is what really was the factor why they could pretty much not win this game at that point, because they obviously kept it close still. They fought back. There were some plays here and there, but you're trying to play through soul, and it's nearly impossible to win against certain souls, and I do think this is one of them. I think Heztech Soul and Ocean Soul are probably the two souls that I think are broken right now. I think
Yeah,
Mountain's whatever.
I think Mountain it depends upon the comp. If you get Mountain on a tanky comp, oh man, he
Yeah.
just can
Uh,
never
I
finish
think I'm.
anybody.
I think all of them are a little comp dependent because even Ocean
Hmm.
sometimes can feel bad if you're an all-in comp.
Okay,
Yeah,
So
hear me
it's
out. I don't think Heztech's ever bad.
I Hextech does have stats that everybody likes, but so does Kimtech too. Like
Yeah.
damage reduction and extra damage when your opponent's is low is is decent. But getting to the Hextech where you have what's it? I think healed and shield power. That definitely can somewhat feel bad.
Yeah,
But
I can agree on that. But yeah, like they win a fight here. If you go back to like 38 minutes, they win this fight. Triple kill for Smudge. You know, Elder's down or not up still for a minute and a half, which kind of sucks. And they have two inhibitors down and no Nexus turrets. So there's a lot of problems here. But it's like, all right, you want to fight. Maybe the game is playable, right? Maybe you can win. But you gotta try to get this Elder. That's gonna be the goal here. And also while somehow defending your base. Um, but I'll show the last clip here. I think it's basically the 40-minute fight that breaks out in the mid lane.
yeah, it's an Elder Dragon fight. I think they played it quite well.
Yeah, I don't think any team played this, or either team played this bad necessarily. Just stat difference at the end of the day. It's gonna be
that
hard.
Tanya's man, crazy.
Elder Burn ends up winning the game.
Elderburn, it's fair. I swear.
Well, the slow on the Hex too on the poke is really hard for them to walk into.
Yeah, Lysander with that escape was crazy, by the way. That's what you were talking about. That was absolutely correct. But if that fight just goes a little better, they take down one member for Vancouver. Like Vancouver gets one kill. Like now it's 44. It's so much more playable.
Well, yeah, because Lysander got out and then I think TP'd back in or came back into the fight. Like,
Yeah, Jacob lived with like low HP as well.
hmm
So I respect them for also trying to just fight this Elder still. But there's a world where they could just like go Baron maybe here and just try to flip the game that way. Um, because they're definitely not going to be able to 4v5 the Elder fight. I don't know how quickly they can burn Baron, but that's probably the only real other attempt you'd have, right? So, but yeah, great game one. It was a really good game between both teams. So we'll jump here into game two, which is going to be a a test of this zebra guy. He passed the test. So he comes in. He comes in as the sixth man, and he put on a show in a clinic here in the Wukong in game two. You don't see that very often. 16, 3, and 9. ridiculous game from
Yeah.
him. I think Lysandre played extremely well in the Syndra as well. On the other side, they just were not able to get anything going, and I am shook by the Mundo pick. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do not like it at all.
By which pick?
Mundo.
Oh, Mundo.
I don't like this draft.
Yeah, I don't really like Melio with Ash. From like a bot side perspective, I think there is a lot of other things Ash wants. Um, they're just really low in damage with the Mundo and the Melio pick and the Ash pick. Especially compared to the other side with you have a lot of burst with the Varus and the Syndra. And then you've got the CC disruption with both Aatrox and every other person that isn't a burst mage or Varus.
I will
Um,
say your point about Milio. I actually like Milio Loki here though.
you like Melio because of the Varus,
Yeah,
or just in general?
I was watching it and I was like, no, this is actually really good Navarro's. I think like if you're playing Enchanter versus Enchanter here, I don't even mind it. I think the Nautilus though makes it hard because he just has his
Well,
CC's different. So
Nautilus is a classic counter to Melio. I mean, most of the hookers are, but Nautilus in particular. Um, I don't know. I've definitely
Uh,
slammed Melio into a Varus. It's usually and he's playing Raiden Shepherd Melio. But I don't like that. I don't like that pairing. My ADC would probably disagree with me. He likes that pairing, but it feels it feels unimpactful, I guess, in lane phase from the support side.
I just don't know what this draft is ever gonna do.
yeah, please tell us about the draft.
There's zero tools anywhere. Gwen just
Yeah.
does more damage. Mundo just tanks up and does more damage. Victor has a CC and a little bit of an interrupt, but it's easy to play around. And the only real like proactive tools you have is out of your bot lane, and they're trying to like tiptoe around because it's a Varus Nautilus. Um, so just the top side of the map is just so uninteractive, and they're just like, yeah, you can steal whatever you want. We'll see you at 40 minutes, and even then, you've got a Syndra and Wukong to be proactive in team fights. It just there's a lot of good champions in Red Side Draft and for VIP, but not together.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying. I don't like a lot of this together. You don't have great engage. I mean, you have Ash. You have a little bit of zone control with. I just don't know what your game plan is versus blue team's game plan is very clear what they want to do. So
Yeah.
they wanna go in, disrupt, blow somebody up, rinse, repeat, over and over and over. And they have lots of tools to do so. Um, I feel like not having watched this game that a lot of their tools to engage on red team probably were used to disengage some of this engagement, which is useful, but then where are you left?
This this looks like a solo queue comp where I'm just like I'm part of it and I don't even want to load into this game because you just probably hear it in comms of like, okay, Wukong's top, and the Mundo's like, all right, I'll steal his Raptors, I guess.
That's overload bot side.
I mean, kind of, and then even then, if Mundo's like, hey, I got heart steal, and oh, well, let's just push in bot and dive bot. Varus, if used correctly, can just E him, and poof, there's free Grievous wounds. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay. And then I'm seeing Roa build on Victor. I'm like, oh, so you definitely want to subscribe to see you at 35 minutes. Like, and now you don't deal damage at all.
yeah. I have a take on Victor too. That I want to bring up, is that
Yeah.
I don't think Victor's great right now.
Uh, I
Oh,
think he can be at the right comp, but I don't think he is like blindable.
yeah. Can we give Silent Shroud some respect too? If you go back to like the 8 minute and 50 second mark, that play was disgusting. Nice Ash arrow too, to finish off a kill on to the Wukong. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like we said earlier, anything can be good, but I don't think it's that strong right now. I think it's playable in some situations. I think the draft they drafted isn't horrible to play around the Victor, I guess. Um, but
Victor's not worth playing around.
it's just, yeah,
He's a worse. If you want to look at it as a DOT zone mage, he's a worse Aesol, worse Anivia. If you want to look at him as a burst mage, yeah, he can, but he's a worse Syndra, a worse Zoe. It's like he's overall a worse Oriana.
He,
CLT
he's he's the karma
2026.
of mages right now. He's
I,
not
I
great
don't
at
I don't
anything, but he's not bad at anything.
I okay. I think I'm good with that.
Yeah, sure we can go with that. But for real, like Mundo, get I hate the Mundo. That's about it. That's really the biggest thing about this draft is I really just hate the Mundo. You guys don't have to love the draft, but I just don't see like what is Mundo doing, man. There's actually a lot of CC where like his little CC shield break thing doesn't really matter. Like you said, they have the Grievous Wounds coming from the Varus. They have a lot of burst, which you can say, well, Mundo doesn't care too much about burst. He does if he gets CC locked, which can happen in this game, and he generally wants to click his alt, like when he's relatively low. And then he's dealing with pretty consistent DPS from the monkey, and honestly, Aatrox does as well. So it's not like the DPS doesn't exist. So what is he doing? Like, what's his game plan, man? I don't
Yeah.
know. It sounds weird
Yeah.
because I just named like everything that like exists in the game, pretty much. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is there seems like there's an answer no matter what Mundo does, unless Mundo's really far ahead.
He just needs to be surrounded by proactive, strong solo lanes, and that he is not. Though the Gwen did fight back quite a bit in this laning phase, but
She did.
No, I thought Tangy
yeah,
played a good series. Like Tangy like was playing well in both games. When I look at that, I don't look at this game and go, "Oh, Tangy's the problem." Far from it. Unfortunately, the Gwen gets to a point where it can't really do much, but that's just because of how ahead the Wukong was, I think, and how ahead the Syndra was.
Well, I think the Wukong's a really smart pick here because of the level of disruption you get
mm,
with two other champions that are also like high disruption, and you can burst people while all that chaos is ensuing. So
Yeah,
Wukong's very good at like almost stun locking the back line.
yeah, like
So
what is Melio doing with a Wu? Are you kicking him? Maybe. Are you cleansing his knockup? Um,
good luck.
yeah, it did
yeah,
tweak into a Malphite. Like, oh, am I cleansing the Malphite ult? No, it just feels bad. Um, like I said, my ADC would probably disagree, but I don't like melee with Ashe either. So it might be because of how much I love Zillion with with Ashe though.
yeah, yeah. 100%. Makes sense.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm distracted by my cats fighting for some weird reason. Can you like leave your sister alone? Thanks. I'm trying to do a show over here, buddy. Don't look at me like that. Um, everyone's like, dude's talking about his cat, but he was doing a show.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean this game was close for a bit, but I do think once that Wukong got to his breaking points, especially two items, Triforce and Sunder Sky, where it's pretty much impossible to kill him, and Syndra sitting on her two items where she can basically burst anybody in the game, barring maybe Mundo. Can't completely one shot him, but can certainly nearly one shot him. Um, there wasn't much that they could do. They tried to fight back, but it was a quick one if I remember correctly. Well, timestamp
Yeah,
isn't showed
I
here.
mean, he has some great engages from what I see. There's several times where they come from which should be friendly jungle and just surround various people. I just watched a dive about 17 minutes where they picked something up or picked up the mid laner really easily.
Yeah, that's pretty much how most of these fights went. They did look for a little in play here at 21 and a half minutes on a Spirit Tracks, which they do end up dropping him. but Zebra gets in and just completely demolishes the fight. Like immediately, Ash is dead. Um, I think Ash flashing in might have been, or flashing away might have been the call at some point there, but somehow Flash never got used, sadly. So Ash just dies, uh, and then
Y-
Zebra
y-
just carries the fight from there.
They just don't have the tools to deal with a Fed Wukong with burst,
Yeah,
burst and CC with him. Like if you can't get out of Wukong ult and he's 2, 3 levels above you, like you just die.
true, fair
No,
enough.
no enchanters keeping you through that. Like Ash can only ult one person, and
Yeah,
I think this one's a little bit overdraftive. So
I can respect that. Um, let's just go to the end of the game. It does take a little bit. They do end up getting the Chemtech Soul too, which that's just gonna make it even more impossible to play the game. Uh, but yeah, I'll let the last clip play out. But I definitely this game two is not as close as game one. So, and I would imagine Vancouver's capabilities as a team, if they did, like you said, maybe draft a little better, this game could have gone a little differently.
yeah, I mean the Ash doing that well into the Varus is wonderful because I think Varus is in a really good spot right now. And I mean Ash is never bad, but playing from behind, like I think the ADC did really well
Yeah,
on Vancouver.
I have a take about Varus as well. I don't actually think he's as
Oh,
strong as he was anymore. I don't think he's in
okay.
a great spot. I don't. I think he's in an okay spot. I think he's still playable, but they nerfed a top lane pretty hard, and I think before his top lane venture up there, I don't think he was like an S tier or even an A tier ADC. I think he's falling somewhere around B, low end C. Depends on your build. I honestly hate. I still hate it, but I hate it even more now. I think the Thoughty virus is just not that good. It can work in a couple situations, but I just don't love it. Um, and with how strong crit is right now, and he's not really a crit user, I don't see the point of really picking him in most scenarios. I'm not a fan. I think he just picks other stuff. Like the fact no one's picking Tristana to me is pretty much mind-boggling.
Oh, we talked about that in our post game. Tristana is that's all I see in my solo queue games right now is Tristana.
Uh, my picks right now are just like in terms of like what's strong. Tristana, no order, but just Tristana, Caitlyn, Yunara, and Jinx. I they're disgusting. And then I think you throw Ezreal in there as well. Ezreal's the only non-crit user that's actually seems strong, and it's specifically when he goes lethal tempo build. He just seems like unfair. So
I think Ezreal too that you need to be. I think Ezreal has a higher learning curve than a lot of other ADCs because he doesn't play like most other ADCs. So
I don't like Israel. You have to be super Chinese to make Israel work.
yeah,
I'll just say it. I don't like it.
I was thinking you have to play a lot more games on it to be good at it than I think
Oh,
other
yes,
ADCs.
you are correct. I just if you're playing Ezreal, just play a mage or something. Like it's
I
just
mean, he pretty much is mage, so
yeah. Like what
he's
I would
like
rather.
Jhin. Jhin's a mage. He's an
Uh,
ADC, but he's a mage.
I don't really think like Jin is like the strongest out there, even in that. But like anytime I see an Ezreal, I'm like, just at least let me have a smolder. Let something that at least if it's behind, there's hope in the stacking and the true
Oh,
damage.
were
But
were you in my post game like team chat with us? Oh,
no, but we've had a lot of discussions. I've played a lot of games with your squad, so we do
uh,
think alike.
yes. Well, speaking of discussions, I think CLT, it's your time to lead this one off here, man. I'll let you take over this series since you played in it and you have a little more insight.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Ugh.
he says, come on, man. We're starting off with the best game. What do you mean? You get to start off with the happy game here.
I,
Um,
the
so
happy game,
yeah, this
bro. I was a backpack this game.
backpack. I don't think you're a backpack, but
I
okay, Mr. CLT. Go ahead and tell us
I might not
about
have been
this
the
game.
heaviest back. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to clarify, this is Mapo Coalition versus I already forgot. Sun Gaming Myth. No, I'm sorry. Femboys.
Some
Femboys.
boys.
Yes. So Go ahead and lead us off.
Yeah, I don't know what got into Nexus. He asked me to sub last night, and I went, "Are you sure?" And he went, "No, but yes." I went, "Okay. Well, at least I warned you." Um, Game one, I knew like Infernal was once I heard he has played mid. Infernal is a fantastic player. He's played actually I think a lot of different roles, whether it be subbing or just moving around lineups. So um, I was kind of curious to see what he was going to play, but we had a clear direction in draft. The Scion was picked super early into Bufa's. Uh, damn it, what's that champion's name?
Zahen?
Zahen. Yeah, sorry. It's late, and they left the Anivia up. I thought it was a really safe blind pick, especially in the R3. We could ban some of the problematic mid laners that Infernal plays, and overall, we got to a really rough start. Got first blooded off of 2v2 mid, which we weren't really expecting the Pantheon to be there. But the bot lane held it up. Tango Fish and Nexus. There's not. I don't want to say there's no communication between them, but those guys just they look for trades. They don't talk about them, and they just go with it. So Nexus playing the Seraphine, I think, was the humongous highlight overall of this game, especially in a lot of the comebacks with the Seraphine ults. We didn't plan on the combo kind of working this way, but Seraphine Nocturne is actually deceivingly really good
Yes.
because you don't see where the
Mhm.
Seraphine ult comes from, and it keeps getting extended.
Mhm.
So um, I don't have the timestamps in front of me. I did get off the ground with a little 2v2 kill, or a double kill, sorry, in the jungle just to kind of get me jump started. I got to Roa at a decent time frame, and after that, I was just there to support the team. Mr. Bufo was getting bullied around quite a bit. Wangrod is a fantastic top laner, and he is just super good at all the champs that he ends up playing. So, um, where was this turnaround? I want to say we had a dragon fight go our way, but the big one. Let me try to get the timestamp real quick. Um, so this was around the 21.5 minute mark,
Baron, right?
where yeah, this was the big Baron fight that worked out. Actually, I'm gonna run it back just a little bit. There was a bot lane fight. I got a little ahead of myself here. The bot lane fight at around 18.5 minutes is what really got Mr. Buffa off the ground on this Zahen. Ashes moves up a little bit too much. We end up CCing locking him, but then Mr. Buffa with a clutch TP behind that I don't think they had vision on, and he ends up cleaning up the fight. He goes from 1-4 to I think he picked up 5 kills in this fight,
Yeah.
and
I mean, he gets the top lane shut down prior to the play too, which probably helped.
yeah, yeah. So once he was stable enough to be kind of the front line and be able to threaten the back line, then all of a sudden it became a lot more playable, and then that does lead into the 20 minutes absolute wombo combo between Mr. Buffa and Nexus. He ends
Yeah,
up hitting all four people
I
into
think
a four-man panel.
I think the fight starting off bot lane with you getting a pick on the Nico is part of why it goes so well. Obviously, the Ash arrow layered on top of it helped, but I mean, you pretty much free pop, and then Ari's just kind of sitting inside the Rift Arrow, which is not ideal at that moment. But yeah, Zehen going off here was crazy because I remember casting this live and going in my head like, "Oh, this game is looking rough," and then all of a sudden I just see this guy start getting kills and you guys start doing work. This was a really fun game one. I'd like to point out, and I'm obviously going to show the clip of the Nexus play because that's why last split I had him in my MVP conversations, stuff like that, and stuff like that
Mhm.
just absolutely cracked.
Yeah, Nexus had just ults all over the place, but that one just like basically started the comeback. The bot lane fight was like, okay, we feel like this game is in some close to even. We might be behind just a little bit, but then the Baron fight was like, okay, our comp's doing what we want to do, and I don't know if they just didn't respect it enough, or they just weren't fully on the same page. I know with Rurika not playing, that there was some movement around in the lineup, so it just didn't feel like they were just 100% on the same page. Not to say that we were, but at least four of them were. Um, so yeah, we end up mounting a comeback, end up taking this game one, and yeah, we can move on to the next series, right?
Yeah. Next series? Oh, no, 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 no,
Oh,
no. I was gonna say we can move on to the next game if you want. I'll show the ending real quick. We can move on to the next game, but next series, buddy?
oh,
Like, I don't,
it-
I
there's
don't know if either of you guys want to talk about the rest of the games. It seems like because I know Calico's not looking, probably not looking
well,
forward to necessarily.
no,
Um,
I mean we can talk about it, but yeah, it was a little rough.
well, let's
Ugh.
see LT have his. I still don't. I'm gonna stand on business with this. Game two, you did not play bad, brother. Like I don't care what it says. You didn't. You had a hard matchup. You're countered, bro. You're countered. But anyways, talk about game
I
two. Just talk about game two, buddy.
game two. Fuck Akali. I hate that champion so much. But yeah, game two was just rough from the word go. Solo lanes were not doing great. Uh, it it was just ugly all the way around. Um,
Mm,
I I can say without a shadow of a doubt. I know it's been a minute since I've played in this type of like competitive level with these type of players, but I don't see Akali's doing this shit in Emerald, and I just don't. I was not ready for the complete and utter ass whipping that Inferno gave me mid. But then, kind of going back to what I stated about the first game, there was some miscommunications and just opportunities that they tried to capitalize on it too much because Tango Fish and Nexus, I mean, they're that ball lane is strong. Them boys know how to play. Um, and there
Yeah,
was
Kingfish
sometimes
is good.
yeah, I mean, I think bot lane in this league overall, when everybody's playing sharp and playing for what they're capable of, bot lane might be one of the most stacked roles in this league. Um, between I know Ashes and Angel Boy are fantastic. Tango Fish Nexus. I mean, we got Calico and Boonstro. When they're firing on all cylinders, they can be a nightmare in the draft. Mono and Fid. I mean, the list keeps going on and on. And even bot lanes that I'm not overly familiar with, uh, from the Stun Gaming crew, also seem to really pull out, especially guys like Spirit Tracks. So, um, yeah, I what I thought I was a backpack on game one, I just became too heavy on game two, and we still fight, we still clawed back. Corky is an absolute animal once you get resources into him, and they had a really clutch flank out of Wangrod. I thought Wangrod played just absolutely insane this series, and he had a big clutch moment to flank us in a fight to end this game too. It was just so hard to track all of the damage and threats between Akali. You had to respect the Poppy, who was building nothing but damage. We couldn't really get advanced too forward because then we're eating Ezreal and Karma poke. So there was just a lot of shit going on, and we ended up making the one mistake there during the comeback, and They ended up taking that game too.
Yeah, I mean it's impressive. First off, you guys get there. That's really impressive. You actually had a lot of nice shockwaves in this game. That's why I don't think you played as bad as you thought. Like you're in a bad matchup and things did not go well early. But Kali should bully you like that, and I don't think you even expected
Mm.
maybe some of that. I'm not sure. Um,
Not that early.
yeah. So she kind of was. I honestly think your when you moved to get that ward, like that was what kind of started that effect. Because you should win the early lane for the most part as long as she doesn't get like her E on you. You can trade back comfortably, but she lands that E, and now you're just kind of half bursted before you can even trade back, and it's just like you can't trade back. You have to walk
Well,
back. So
like she ends up putting the ward in the Raptor camp, and I think I hit her with 3 autos and a Q, and I watch a collie just rapid fire 2 Qs at me and win the trade at level 1. I'm like, all right, this is not good already. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, anytime a collie land the E, he put in work. I mean, the team set me up on a lot of good shockwaves. Lead is that was kind of the combo they wanted to work on. I guess they had it's something that Sam Ladd can also play is the Oriana, so that was something they were familiar with, and I had no issues playing the Oriana, but god damn, I made this game hard without a collie lead. So
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead, Calico. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say a collie, like unlike being able to pop at like 40%, she can pop you at like 60% as a squishy mage like early game. So you have to give a lot more respect to her than you would I don't know, another assassin in lane. My mid lane arc that I did recently made me absolutely loathe seeing that champion in lane phase. You
I
you also don't have a great ball delivery system, I feel like, this game with your comp, and that probably made it a little bit harder as well.
I do think we could have had one more in there, but the ball delivery was basically built kind of around the Mbessa. That's why she went really squishy. But no, I was just really taken back of like how Akali's Q
Yes.
damn near matches Oriana's auto attack range, and every time I've played against people at this level, especially against like assassins players at this level, mage animations feel so slow compared to assassins that it's like by the time Oriana's wind up animation is done, Akali's already walked in, queued you at the end of her shuriken, and then is walking back out. And you're like, what Mack truck just hit me?
Yeah,
So
she's just so much faster and mobile. You just gotta really give her a lot of respect in lane, I think, as a control mage player.
yeah, and then after level 6, she's just a point and click machine. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but
so
but fights were close, man. I again I know what you say, and you guys did kind of come back in the game. So I think when you really look at it, like you're not really to blame because I wanted to point out like Mr. Buffo wasn't having fun up top side either. So
oh no,
if
the
you're
soul.
if you're to blame, then I guess everyone's to blame at that point because that's kind of my take personally.
Nah, I mean, people who know me, I'm always like super hard on myself, so it's not anything of an ordinary. But no,
Yeah,
me,
I'm
me and
aware.
Mr. Buffa definitely did not have great times in this games 2 or 3. Um, I think what what I did and how unexpected it was that the Akali played. I think Mr. Buffa had the same issues with the Aurelia in game 3, but no, I mean it's the fact that we fought back here in this game is a testament, especially to the core four there for a map ago. That I mean, they're a solid team. They play skirmishes out really well. They always note timings and everything like that, and it's just it's a good solid squad. I enjoyed playing with them, and yeah, they didn't. It was fun. It was fun. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they're a good team, especially the bot lane. We played
uh,
against them last week.
yeah,
yeah.
their
So
bot lane is good.
No, they're solid, and they're another team that kind of talk about as in Vancouver as well. And it's just like it's impressive that these teams are haven't picked up a win yet, but that's just the level of the league, and um, it's going to be very interesting as the season progresses. But we do have one more game to talk about in this series, and I know you don't want to talk about it, but we are going to talk about it. So
I I I actually was okay with game 3. Their draft was deceiving because we got to R5 and I'm like, I don't know who the hell I'm going against. Like this, three champions can go one of three different roles. So their draft really was great that
Yeah,
game three.
me and my co-casters had that same conversation. So Halfling, he casts in other leagues, and he happened to come across us. Really nice guy. Got to talk to him a little bit after the stream, and he's like, he obviously asked if he can come in, and I was like, of course, but he definitely talked about that when we were looking at draft, like, oh, there's a couple different angles this can go. I mean, we're going back and forth, but he called it right with the Mordekaiser going jungle and the Zyra bot, so he definitely got that correctly. Um,
I
but yeah,
love
I
it.
mean, what? I know it's a wild draft, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem that crazy to me. I
It's
like it though.
it's
It's good.
not wild in the sense of like these are weird picks. It's just a lot of very
Oh,
unique picks.
do I have to? I wanna hear the Jana isn't good with an APC. Um, let's
I
hear.
act- I
Oh
thought
yeah,
Jana
I'll
was
give it to you in
great
a
here
second,
actually.
Sly. I'll give it to you in a second. Don't worry. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
no.
I'm
Last week we played Jana with an APC, and that was the big comment I took away out of the commentary.
Yeah. No, I don't love it here with the Zyra, but I do like it with the Jace and the and the Aurelia. So it gets a
I
pass, I
mean,
guess, a little bit. It's still not my favorite pick here. But I will
I
that's what
say
it's for.
I will
So,
say that the Janna isn't horrible here. It's not my favorite pick. There are definitely better picks in my opinion, but this is still good, and I think Ash has played it well. In terms of just like utilizing his ult to disengage some fights. But overall,
yeah.
the Janna wasn't that impactful. If you look at the game, it wasn't like, oh, Janna popped off. It was just
I think it's a good pick into
uh
Recon, specifically,
yeah,
and then you just sell out for your 80 damage. So
yeah, yeah.
uh
I agree
the
there.
J-
outside of
the,
lane phase.
the Jana was the most annoying thing about their comp. I mean, maybe it's different
Yeah.
from playing in it, but I could care less what this Jana's paired with. This Jana alone like makes our comp
Yep.
impossible to play.
She's the queen
Um
of nope.
she noped quite a bit here. I know they still had some difficulties in lane, um, where Nexus and Tango could establish and kind of slowly bully it around, but it's
Oh,
just
I-
Zyra and Janna, like, good luck engaging into them.
yeah, I mean Zyra doesn't put out too much damage early. And I mean that's a strong bot lane, the MF Rakan, but
Yeah,
you know, Janna just says no and stalls it out until you scale, and
Yep.
I
then
I.
you.
I think the least problem in this game is the bot lane look though. Like I think regardless, as long as they're like in the game, it's fine. Because they're playing around the wombo combo setup anyways. It's really all about you need your Kennen to be in a good spot. Lissandra's fine. Like she just really wants to lock a target up. Like your
Yeah.
pick to me is good for locking up something like Aurelia. You just completely CC a locker and let the team play. Um, but like Kennen needs to be in this game. Like he cannot fall behind. And I think when he does, it is such a hard draft to play at that point because you're literally playing on top of a wombo combo. That's what you want. Your wombo combo is everything, and Misfortune's going to be in this game. So if Misfortune's in this game, J4 is not completely behind. It's fine, right? But it's coming down to the Kennen, and Kennen's too far behind. He just doesn't provide enough because he's not going to be like split pushing or something. So
Yeah. The Kennen getting behind, yeah, really getting ahead definitely set the tempo for this. And I mean, I'm just in a farming matchup. I might drop a little bit of CS to Jace just because of the range advantage he has, but I mean, overall, it's just don't let Aurelia get ahead and try to make sure the Mordekaiser's in check.
yeah,
And it's yeah, the Janna was just a big old fu to our draft.
Yeah, I feel like blue side is just trying to neutralize the lane for outside
Yeah.
of it, and since Tango Fish and Nexus didn't get a big advantage, they're just that's their window, you know.
Yeah.
What what like how they could have done that? I mean, there's different ways you could say, but
I
That's
mean, you still have J4 plus Rakan, and the thing is, J4 Cataclysm is good for being able
it
to
is.
negate some CC. You can easily get into a Janna with a good flank, and just use your ulti to stop, like when she goes to use, what's it called, the Monsoon, right?
Yep.
When she uses that, it doesn't matter because you're ulting on top of them already, it's fine. And then Rakan just has to follow up afterwards. As long as he can have some sort of follow up with the quickness, like I think you're good. Um, so there's definitely an angle of just hard focusing bot
Oh,
and winning that way. But
Yeah, but you're leaving the AD out to dry though,
yeah, but
as
well,
as well.
my big thing is too is just again topside, like they would have to be so ahead on bot side for it to for this combo to be like to work basically, and Kennen be like a neutral state. I still think that Kennen needs to be in this game. Like that's very important because Kennen provides nothing to me but being a part of the wombo combo. You know, like I come, I click R, I do my damage, I burst people. If I die, it's fine as long as I did all that, and I'm good to go. If
was
you
there were there other things discussed besides the cannon pick, or
Um, I don't I don't think so. I think we were committed to the thought that it was either Mordekaiser or Jace top, Irelia mid, which is also kind of what led me to want to pick Lissandra. Just because again, like in either matchup, Lissandra, it's the same thing. Like you're dropping some CS and you're just basically there for the lockdown.
yeah?
Um, so the fact that it ended up being Irelia top, that's when it was just kind of became an oh shit moment. And there was not much to do there.
Yeah, well, and I wonder. Excuse me. I wonder if it's possible that they that pivoted at the last minute too, based upon your guys' picks.
Yeah, very well could. Like I said, their draft was just kind of impossible. We did bring up a very very brief discussion of like, okay, can the Kenning go mid, which I'd have been okay to pilot, though it wouldn't have been my first choice. But I don't know then what else goes with that, because if it's a tank, then you just flex the Mordekaiser
Yeah.
top, Jace
hmm
jungle, Aurelia mid. Like they just have the
Oh,
ultimate rock paper scissors
yeah. Or Zyra
advantage.
jungle is good.
Yeah, yeah. So once we seen their whole blue side comp, it was like there was no magic like champion to solve it. Looking back at it, like maybe a Garen or something that could like kind of brawl with any of those three in the top lane and sustain through it, but it, yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm cool.
damage was
I'm
kind
cool
of
with the
done.
Garen. It makes it so your team comps not just like wombo combo reliant because he can play a bit of the split push game. He's not horrible into something like Aurelia. Um, if you go like phase rush and play out the training patterns well,
Yeah.
if he gets a lead, he's a complete menace. I would have loved the Garen actually, unironically enough, and I'm not a really big
We,
fan
we
of
didn't
seeing Garen.
we didn't even talk about it, honestly. I'm just kind of looking at it now with theory crafting it.
Yeah, no,
Um
that would be a good
and
theory craft, buddy. I think that would have
Yeah.
that would have paid
yeah.
dividends. But yeah, with that said, I don't know if there's too much to talk about in the game. I think early game was kind of close, but by like what, like about 15, 16 minutes, the goal lead was already pretty significant. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
so when you look back at this series, I think Mepogo kind of feels bad because they've gone now back-to-back weeks losing game threes. That never feels great, but that also makes you feel like we can be in every single series. So we just gotta figure a few things out. It's reminding me of them when they played their first split, I think it was. So um, if they can figure that out, I think they'll be just fine. And I think the roster is really really good. So um, I feel like most people watch this series, Loki, but I'll show the end real fast before I get out of here, and then we can get into
Oh boy.
the final. Oh boy, the final
The one that
series,
we just played.
the one that we just played. This was me and CLT last Saturday too when we were doing the show.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you want to start talking about it?
I can.
Yeah, go right ahead. You're
Um,
good. Yeah, go right ahead. I'll pull up the stats
um,
while you do.
I think I have more opinions about game 2, but honestly, I think game 1 just came down to we created a monster in Ari, and then it didn't really matter what else was going on the map. Like, um, Rusty, I'm gonna try to use everyone's screen names instead of their government names. I apologize in advance if I slip up. Um, but Rusty was having a really hard time moving around the map because of how mobile Ari was, and she just push and then roam along with the Pantheon. And so, I mean, he had some good ganks and some good plays early, but really just the Arya getting ahead it just kind of took over the game, and it was a one man show from there. So
Um, yeah, I think Astros becoming a problem was definitely a problem. I won't disagree on this. Sorry, like I think I don't know if I'd call it a complete one man show, but it was definitely a top side of the map show. So I'd go mid top jungle. Um, I don't think the Pantheon popped off in this game hard in terms of like getting his advantages himself. So I'll give you that as well. But bot lane was neutralized. Guma and Doom didn't really do much. They were just like there for the like. CLT was talking about backpacking. I think I saw like Silver stat line having like 0, 1, and 4 at like basically the end of the game. Like I was like, okay, so the Silver is like doing work out here. You know what I mean? They didn't even need the Silver to exist. Um,
well, and that's the story of both games, really. And I'm almost a little offended because that's what we do is we neutralize the lane, and then move those advantages elsewhere, and they kind of flip the script on us. So
you're offended by that? That's interesting thing to be offended by. I'm mad that somebody did exactly what we do to them to me. Like basically.
uh,
Uh,
well, there's a little bit more to that, but draft wise, when we talked about this, I think that I should have taken the Lux bot, and we should have had a different matchup against the Ari. I don't think that our mid laner was expecting to be punished quite as hard with his spacing on the Ari. He was playing really, really far up, kind of in the wave. He's familiar with that matchup, but I think the Ari just played it really well. But we talked about this in hindsight. I should have taken the Lux instead of the Sona, and then we had a more favorable matchup for the Ari. I don't think the Lux is horrible into it, but there are definitely a lot more options that could have been played into it that would have given him more tools to deal with her. So
yeah,
past that, I think the rest of the draft was fine. I know you don't like the Varus. My ADC does like the Varus.
I like Boonstra's Varus. I
Yeah.
like Angel Boy is a great Varus, but if I'm watching Angel Boy lose, I'm watching Boonstra lose. Guys that play this champion like as like they're basically not one tricks, but they play it efficiently and play it a lot. I've seen enough of it to know, go like in my head like I don't think it can get its own lead well enough like it used to, and it just doesn't seem to be as strong in this current meta. Again, I think Varus is fine. I actually think for a game 3, Varus isn't bad. It's just the fact that Sivir is still up. Like, imagine if that's just a different AD carry that he can just free click abilities on instead of one that has a shield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's stuff like that to me. Like, if there's certain picks that are gone, because I didn't list Sivir in the AD carries that I mentioned, but I do think she's probably number 5. Like, she's definitely good. And then you've got the other ones like you got Smolder. He's definitely not bad right now. Jin technically builds crit. I do think he's in a weird spot though, but he's definitely not
He,
bad. Uh, but like Varus and a Jin is good, right? Like I think Varus likes that. So if like this is a Jin here, I think it's great. It's cool. Like I'm happy with it.
and there were a couple of times where Boonstra ulted and the Guma shield was up, and it's just kind of a he's shooting a shot, and it doesn't work. I think I took some early kills here too on Soda. Surprise, surprise. That might have changed things a little bit.
Yeah, I still don't, I don't know if that's really why it went bad. But it doesn't help. It doesn't help. They don't look like they were purposeful, but I did mention him while I was streaming. I was like, oh crap, he was
Yeah.
shut down for Sona. I don't think that's really where you want it to go. I'm like,
I
well,
didn't
the
even have my
Sona can
blood song
scale.
yet.
Yeah, right, exactly. Um, but yeah, I just
Um,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd really her. I don't know if I'd blame the draft overall though. I don't think the draft is just like, oh, you lost because the draft. Except for, and this might be my last take if we are really talking draft. I think Rusty should try to play his other picks that he's been playing that I've seen him pop off on, because I think Amumu and in the next game the Maokai, we've already mentioned it a bit. I don't think they're that great right now. In fact, Amumu winning, it feels like complete ridiculousness, because one of the Amumu wins is War Initiate's like 1 in 13 Amumu game. like
No.
I don't know if it's really the pick in the jungle right now. I just think its clear speed isn't as strong as it used to be, and I think you're playing into, still these very strong AD heavy picks like the Pantheons, the Jin Zhaos, the Wukongs, all that you really don't want to see. And then if you get further down the list, you have fast clearing junglers like the Dianas of the world, for example. I don't think you want to play into that stuff either if it gets picked. I'm just throwing another one out there. Even in Bessa, I think Bessa is better right now as a jungler.
I think Rusty would probably agree with you. We had some discussion about that. I think in particular this was a pretty good Amumu game, but I think in general Amumu he's not in the best spot right now, and I mean that's probably why it's been left open because traditionally that gets banned out against him.
Yeah. I would say I know you guys are a great team in terms of figuring out, like, okay, let's just stop doing this. I anticipate moving forward, unless it gets a giga buff or something, or it's a giga great angle, I anticipate not seeing some of these picks moving forward. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you swap out the Amumu, maybe the draft is better. Really, I guess if there's a swap, like you can still leave Varus. I can see Varus. Just get something else in there. I think Amumu paired with the 3 picks you have makes sense though. Like you get to build an Abyssal
Yeah.
mask with Lux, Varus, and Sona. That sounds pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie about that, but
I just feel like if I had taken the Lux bot, we would have been able to match the aggression that Sivir and Karma, there's the Karma again, are able to put out, which is, a very aggressive pushing lane, and then Bananasaur would have had a slightly better matchup in mid.
yeah,
So, and, hindsight's 2020,
it
and
always
as they
is.
say, and
Yeah. I don't think you guys should feel bad. I mean, this is definitely one of the best teams in the league right now, without question. And if you guys clean up those draft issues, I'm sure you'll be back where you guys usually are. Because watching you guys last week was the typical Scorch like games and looked great. You guys looked fantastic. So
oh
you
yeah,
got
and I wasn't upset about this draft at all. This is one of the highest statted teams, at least on paper, and they played really well. So, um, we had more mistakes in the second game, but this game just felt really hard to come back on
yeah
because of how well Astros played the RA mid and the advantages that they got.
yeah
Like I said, our jungler definitely had a hard time moving around the map on the Amumu to get all those advantages because of the pressure that
yeah.
he put on the map.
And maybe just hear me out next time on this one too. This is just a thought. Maybe next time you're staring at a tanky Scion as an Amumu, Sona, and or a Nectin, you guys aren't trying to do this weird like divey type whatever that play was, because that was a journey to watch. I'm not gonna. I
Yeah,
won't show it on here because I feel like we've just shown live anyways about 3 hours ago. But it was pretty hysterical.
there was
I
more
laughed.
than one as well, I
Yeah,
believe.
I'm sure that was a pretty funny one. But yeah, go ahead. I'll let you take off here with the game too.
All right, let's move to game two. Um, what happened game two? I think game two was a draft if. 100%. We had some very. We were split into two camps on where these. I heard you when I went back casting, and you're like, I know where these champions are gonna go, and I was like, I wish you'd tell me because we have no idea where these champions are going. Um,
Yeah, I
That's the
thought I
Scorch
knew.
and
special.
I thought I knew.
and
That's
yeah,
the
that's the
Scorch
Scorch
special, ain't it?
special. It is, and the problem is you've got 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and you've got two people on one, two people on the other. The fifth person doesn't care. Um, Originally the Maokai was supposed to be the support. The Diana was supposed to be jungle, and we were holding the mid pick open. Um, and when the Braum got picked, that's when we split because Braum is best tank. Braum beats all tanks in bot lane. Not But yes, Braum makes everyone's life a living hell, which is why I think he's underutilized. Should be picked more. Good on you, Doom. Um, and the bot lane, my ADC and I were arguing for me to still take the Maokai and just sack bot essentially, play as safe as we can, and it's not what happened. So I think my jungler lost a lot of agency because I don't think Maokai is good top right now, and I don't think he's good jungle. His buff is coming, but it's not here yet. If someone watches this back, um, and I just he we lost a lot of our tools because of that. I think Bananasaur had a pretty good game on the Diana, but as my jungler demonstrated last week, he is quite good now at the Diana. Um, and I think he would have had a lot more tools at his disposal for that. Which is funny because my jungler has not always been great at Diana. It used to be the champion that we would kind of like poke fun at him, and so he decided he was going to be the best Diana player because of it, and now he is quite good at it. So she's in a good spot right now as well, which probably helps. But yeah, so I think we got draft diffed. I don't like Ezreal unless you're an Ezreal one trick. Um, and I just think bot was neutralized. Guma and Doom froze the wave, and we just kind of stared at each other. Not a lot happened bot. Everything happened everywhere else on the map, and they just kind of got incremental advantages in a lot of the fights. And then because we didn't have the tools to deal with that, we just kind of died. So there you go. That's my opinion on that.
I think this game was closer than game one, especially when you look at like
Yes,
how
yes, it was.
things were going. Um, I mean that literally like I think we talked about it before we did the show, right? We talked about that fight at the Drake. If that
Mm.
fight goes in your guys' favor, I think the game
Oh,
is so much more playable. Um,
and it was so close, and because it was so close, that's why they picked up 2 extra kills off of it because we kind of baited ourselves into it. Um, yeah, I think it goes a lot different, but some of that is the draft. If we had had a different ADC, I think it would have been a lot different as well. Um,
yeah, imagine a Jinx here or something.
oh, and Boonstra is very good at that Jinx. So, um,
Well, I also though I think the PTA is gonna help much there. I think that the tempo allows you guys to fight a little more. Bot
mhm.
lane too, which could have helped as well. But yeah, I mean it was close. I think when you look at it, there was so much disengaged and re-engaged setup um, from them that it's like, what do you guys do to really play the game? Because what do you guys like specialize at as a team comp? And I don't know because York wants to split push realistically. Ezra wants to kind of play pokey and kind of like engage or not engage, but jump in there when like people are low. So he prefers like either burst in the game, which Diana makes sense to have in there, or something that allows him to get the space. Maokai wants to kind of like pseudo engage, disengage. Like he's kind of a follow up, but then like when you look at, do you really want your Diana jumping in first, and then you got Morgana? Like, hi, I'm Morgana. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little everywhere with the draft. Um, but I still, again, I think if you guys win that Drake fight, and that was like the 12.5 minute mark or something, if you guys win
It
that
was
Drake
it was
fight,
very
it's
early.
it's it's a different game because Yorick eventually outscales, which he does, and now Cassante can't play. So now the split push becomes more effective if you guys aren't behind because they have to play more respectful. You guys aren't losing things. So it just sometimes games, and I had a scrim
Mhm.
this last week, kind of similar. We made a mistake and we lost an early play. That really was just the whole game. Certain games happen like that. If you draft kind of either not great or maybe you draft too much an early draft or just something that just if you lose early you're gonna get hindered. I think
Yeah.
that that can make all the difference. That's why I do also think having good synergy with your team comp and also having some scaling is always important. Not that you guys had no scaling here, but
Oh no, there's
just
scaling. We just didn't get it off. I also we also pointed out that Diana and Ezreal are not exactly quick shoving the waves, and so it makes it
Hmm.
harder for Yorick to split push. Um, So yeah, the draft's a little bit everywhere, but like I said, we pivoted in the middle of the draft and we were very split as a team on like where they were supposed to go, and I think that definitely shot us in the foot. So with the tools that we had, I think the game was a lot closer. Like you said, because we didn't have a raid boss coming at us. But they also played it very well. So,
Yeah.
and like I said, they're a good team. They're also heavily statted. Um, maybe I'm not actually. I'm not gonna give away that secret on stream. So never mind. But yeah, no, they're. It was. I think once the draft was set, we did about as well as we could with the tools that we had. But bot lane getting neutralized was not in our favor, and we didn't really have a way to safely break that. So
Yeah.
it just ended up on the other 3 picks on the top side for the whole map, and we just didn't win. So
Yeah. Hey, what I always say, right?
it happens. It
It's
happens.
a
Yeah.
week. It's a week, and things happen in League of Legends.
Uh.
Like any other sports, realistically, you have good weeks, you have bad weeks, and now it's just about cleaning it up, right? So, but I will say it was still a fun little series to watch. I definitely, the earlier series in the day was the probably the series of the week. So it's kind of hard to to match that unless you're gonna put on a show like that. But I'm sure you guys will clean it up like you usually do. I trust these mistakes or these miscues in draft won't continue to happen. So
Well, I mean, and Bananasaur kind of got some revenge on mid lane for these first, I would say, 10, 15 minutes of the game. He's Oriana's like 0-3-0, so that was a really good change. But yeah, I mean it happens, and like I said, I'm not mad about the loss.
good. I like the positivity,
So
Calico. I love it.
thank you.
Um, with that said, this is the end of the show pretty much. We got one more little segment for you guys. You're welcome to stick around, Calico, if you'd like. We are just going to go ahead and do the power rankings. So I know you guys all really just watch for this at the end of the day. So don't worry. I have Scorch ranked 25 this week. So like I was supposed to do it last week,
Oh,
I did it this week. So
25 out of 10. Wow.
yeah, that's crazy, right? Let's go ahead and let's go over the standings real quick before we do that. So, ending the week off here, we're gonna have realistically Small Brains and Stun Gaming Mythos are tied. They have the same match record and game record at 2-0. Then we have in the third spot here, Stunned Incarnate with a 4-1 game record. Then we have four teams at 1-1, differing here. Femboys. I was trying to figure this out, but I think because they have one more win, I don't know this. I'm gonna be honest, and I need someone to clarify this for me. If you guys know, you guys can clarify for me. Should Femboys actually be the actual fourth seed here because they're not only 1-1, but they're have more game wins than the other three teams, or is that just wrong? Because they all have a 50% game record. And I don't know, but I mean,
I don't.
it's basically tied, guys. It's basically tied for fourth between three teams, because obviously Scorch having the 2-3 game record is going to put them at the seventh seed. So we could just say it's a three-way tie for fourth. I don't know if it's actually true, but yeah, Hidden Leaf and IBP tied there, and then we have Mapogo coming in at the 8 at 0-2 with a 2-4 game record, and then VIP and NTR tied there at the bottom, both with an 0-4 game record and an 0-2 match record. All right, so here we go. Power rankings. There isn't a lot of change. The right side is going to, I should have covered that up realistically, but the right side is going to be what the change is from the previous week into this week. So I'll start off with the first couple teams. And we're gonna do the bottom four here. So, like I said, pretty much no change. I think it pretty much makes sense. But you have Notorious Thieving Raccoons sitting here at 10, Vancouver Impact sitting at 9, Mapogo at 8, and Insane Banana Posse at 7. Since you're still here, Calico, do you have any gripes with those four teams?
No, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. How about you,
That's
CLT?
not that's not too different from
I got.
last week. So
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with it.
Okay. Okay. I think it just comes down to Um, Insane Banana Posse, they are 1-1, but I think their only win is against Vancouver, who's towards the bottom of the rankings right now. And I think they did lose pretty decisively. I think there were some close moments, but it was a pretty decisive loss here against Small Brains. And then Mapogo, I debated putting them up one, but then I remembered Insane Banana Posse beat them. Or no, sorry, they didn't beat them. But they didn't have a win, is what it was. Yeah, they didn't have a win, so I didn't want to move them up. I didn't feel right about that, at least this week. We'll see how the trend continues or not. But yeah, that's the first four here. Next up, we're gonna have Scorch coming in at the number 6 spot. Hidden Leaf coming in at the number 5, and Femboys coming in at the number 4. So really, the only movement here is between Hidden Leaf and Scorch. Hidden Leaf picking up a series win, very very took care of business, and Scorch kind of losing I'd say a not very close series for the overall.
I mean, yeah, that's probably fair. So,
I do think your series win looks better than Hidden Leafs, but for now, I think this is it's close between the two teams. I do think it's close between the two teams. You can make an argument for Scorch still being above Hidden Leaf if you like. I wouldn't be mad at that. So, are you gonna argue for your team, Calico?
uh, I watch one of Hidden Leaf's games and not both weeks, so it's hard for me to say. But I mean, Hidden Leaf is a really good team, and I mean they had a good run last season as well. So I'm okay being like at par with them.
Fair. Yeah, I mean their loss was against Incarnate, if I remember correctly. So it's obviously against a top team, and they could have won the series. Like I said, I don't know if you watched it, but if you go back and watch it, Hidden Leaf had two. It was like the same situation, and if they just played it better, they could easily have won either of those games, if not both.
Oh yeah,
So
we were shocked to find that they had lost. I think they were playing when we were either scrimming or practicing. So
yeah. And then I went back and forth between putting Femboys above Small Brains or not. I think if CLT was here for this, I think I probably would have done it. I don't know. It depends on his viewpoint. I know Small Brain's undefeated, but they beat Vancouver Impact and Notorious and no, I'm sorry, not Vancouver Impact. I mean Notorious and Insane Banana Posse. Those are their wins, and they're obviously more towards the bottom of the power rankings here. So I was definitely debating it. And I think Femboy's win was at least, in my opinion, more exceptional because obviously missing Marika is obviously a big impact to the team. I know Mapago was also missing Sam Ladd, but I mean, I think the shift there makes a difference, and I also think Mapago is a really really solid team regardless. So, but then again, Insane Banana Posse beat Mapago or beat Vancouver. I don't even know. I keep freaking mixing this stuff up, but you get the point. It's a very convoluted situation here. I think it's close. Any takes from UCLT before I reveal the last three?
No, I think you can go either way with them, but there's still a lot of league left to play. So
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, I'll reveal the last three. So, no surprise here. Small Brain still sitting at the number 3 spot, and the Sun Gaming, Mythos, and Incarnate are just gonna swap. I think Mythos's win is like 2 wins look better than Incarnate's, just because Incarnate had a really close series against Hidden Leaf, and it still was relatively close in the one they played this week as well. Whereas Mythos has kind of been taking care of business. I think they've been dominating on the Rift for the most part. So. Um, that's the really only switch here. So Mythos overtaking their sister team for now. Any opinions at the top of the fire rankings, guys?
mm,
no, I
I
think there's three pretty distinct tiers, and like maybe between those three individual tiers you could argue, but I think the tiers are pretty well laid out.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying, and I pretty much agree. I mean, if you look at the standings, it kind of shows that too and represents that at the moment. Um,
Yeah. hmm
but yeah, I think there's probably you're looking at Stunned, Mythos, Incarnate, Femboys, and then you kind of just got to choose between Small Brains and Hidden Leaf is probably your next is your first tier, and then you've got the middle tier there with the Scorch, Same Banana Posse, Maple Go. Um, right now, I'd say. I feel like maybe Insane Banana Posse is weird, but I think I'd have to put them in the lower tier just because they're freaking changing up their roster every week, switching around.
Yeah, no shit.
So they'd probably be down there with NTR at the moment. But it's close. I mean, I do think it's gonna be a fun split. So not like these power rankings can't just shift around or anything. So, but for 1 week now, Mythos takes over the one spot over Incarnate. So let's see if they can keep that, or if Incarnate takes it back, or if another team does. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So thank you for coming on the show, Caligo, once again.
Yeah,
Um,
it's always fun.
I'm gonna just hover this here for everybody while we're closing out. Come check out the champ stats. We put all this work into this, guy. So please come look at it. Karma OP. Look at that. Karma 5 wins, undefeated, 100% win rate. What can I say? Power pick is 74.8. Champ is busted.
Karma is a I don't know if I can say that on the stream. So, but yeah.
All right. Thank you, CLT, as well, as always, man. Always glad to do the show with you, and hopefully many more. So that's gonna be it. Any closing thoughts from either of you guys before I close it out?
No, I think it's been a fun week, and we had a rough game, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. That's a strength of schedule, and sometimes you get paired against people that on paper are better, and it's always fun to see if you can play up to that. And then how cool is it when you can win against that? So sorry, I'm getting really tired.
Nah, you're good. You're good. It's understandable.
I'm
It
a
is
little
late.
loopy right now, so.
Okay. Well, then you go get some rest, Calico. Thank you guys all for watching. CLT, do you have any closing thoughts? I don't want to dip on you there. Do you have anything?
No, I'm hitting that brick wall as well, so
Okay.
I feel that.
Brick wall. We're out of here. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. Hopefully there's not 2 Sunday games, and I'm doing the same thing over again. GG's. Have a nice night.
Deuces.